Welcome back to the show, everybody. Today, we are going to talk about Trump's recent defamatory statements against Haitian migrants in Springfield, Ohio.
They're eating the dogs.
They're eating the cats. They're eating the dogs. They're eating the geese. They're just Haitians running around Springfield, Ohio, catching birds and eating. So we found out that this post was originally started on Facebook. Okay. And in the Facebook post, which the person has now deleted and said that she feels terrible for this
She has admitted that it was a made-up story.
In the post, she admitted that she heard it from a neighbor's kid that this was happening. And JD Vance and Donald Trump are spreading basically third-hand information from Facebook from a child. And now they are causing all kinds of horrible things to happen.
They're like real-world consequences. Like people's lives are being negatively affected because of their
Exactly.
lives.
There are bomb threats being called into schools. People are keeping the kids home from school. Businesses are closing.
Businesses, by the way, that can't be started by illegal immigrants who just showed up. Because the real key to this is there might have been some Haitian immigrants that showed up there, but they're in a Haitian community in Springfield.
Right.
They've been there for decades, some of them going to church, having businesses, going to schools. They're part of the community. That is who Donald Trump and JD Vance are attacking.
And they're there legally as well. So now these people's lives have been upended because of a bullshit story that the presidential candidate and vice presidential candidate for the Republican Party have decided to make one of their mainstream talking points now, because Donald Trump knows it's not true. Okay. They told him it's not true, but he is continuing to say it. And like this is what we talk about when it comes to propaganda and stochastic terrorism. Okay. Donald Trump can wipe his hands because he says, well, I just heard it and I just repeated it. I didn't tell anybody to go out and hurt anybody. Somebody's going to get killed or hurt as a result of Donald Trump's rhetoric. And this, you know what I mean? And the propaganda part of it, it doesn't have to be true.
Well, do you want to know
if they say it enough? Because somebody's going to believe it.
A really scary point of this is one of the main reasons the Haitian community and Haitian immigrants are being targeted is because I forget the name of the child that was killed in a car accident by a Haitian immigrant who was here legally, by the way, and had a driver's license and all that. But of course, since they were Haitian, we get to, if you're Trump, we get to scare people about brown people.
Right.
This poor kid's dad has done conferences, meetings, interviews, and stood up and begged Donald Trump to stop using his son. He actually said the other day that he wishes a 60-year-old white man had killed his son, because then none of this horrible racism would be happening. Think about that.
Right.
The father of a kid killed. I can't even fathom that.
So I have a couple highlight videos one from Arizona, or as Donald Trump likes to call it, Pennsylvania. I'll play that. Hold on, I'll play the video. But then we have some more highlights from his recent press conference at his resort in San Francisco, again, where he spreads these lies about the Haitian community
that he knows are false.
And to close it out, I have a video of JD Vance on CNN admitting he knows these stories are bullshit. He says it. But first, let's talk about Arizona. Let's see what he had to say.
You saw it. So Pennsylvania, remember this when you have to go to vote. Okay, just remember this. 2,000% increase. And illegal Haitians, and he came in, illegal Haitian migrants taking over a beautiful place. It was so beautiful. Springfield, Ohio. I was there.
You can't even point it out on a map.
A while ago. Springfield, it was so beautiful. Now it's just, what a place. Can you imagine you have this small little community, all of a sudden you have 20,000 illegals in your community. Nobody knows where they come from. Haiti. I'm angry about young American girls being raped and sodomized and murdered by savage criminal aliens. Reporting of 911 calls even show residents are reporting that the migrants are walking off with the town's geese. They're taking the geese.
What freaking are there like? Is there a town just? Wait a minute. Is there a geese flock that
No.
the town just claims as their own?
If you were
What is
that
he
good of a
talking
hunter,
about?
if you're that good of a hunter that you can sneak up on a goose and catch it, you know what? You
Do it.
earned that.
Do it.
You earned that goose. You go ahead and have.
You
that
know what I saw?
one.
I saw just before we were recording today, someone posted a video of someone trying to say they see someone roasting a dog on a spit in their backyard.
I
It
saw
was
that.
a freaking lamb. It was a
Yeah,
lamb.
they're trying so hard. They showed another picture of a guy black gentleman walking down the street with a couple ducks or geese in his hand that were obviously dead. And they said, again, that was Springfield, Ohio. Well, it turns out it was from like Columbus, Ohio. And then the birds had been hit by a car and he had just taken them off the road.
But hey, I need a picture of a black guy doing something that I could spin is horrible. Okay, we got it. That's what they're
Yep.
doing. And it's worse because, as Jeremy pointed out, we're going to see that JD Vance admits that they know that this is what they're doing. They're literally playing not just the race card, they are doubling, tripling down on the racism. They have yet to say anything about any policy. Remember the debate. Every question that was asked of them within 2 to 3 seconds devolved into some rambling about immigrants and illegal aliens
It
and
really
Kamala
was. That's all it was.
having a hotline to other countries to get their criminals here. Like, there is no discussion about anything on the Trump side about what they're going to do for you, what they're going to do to fix this country. It's just racism. That's it. Racism, racism.
I did see a video, and I couldn't find it for the show, but I did see a video where Donald Trump said he swears he's gonna deport all the Haitians back to Venezuela. I started dying.
Well, he just said in that clip. They're coming from places we don't even know where they're coming from. You're railing about Haitian immigrants. At least remember that that's the country you're railing about. And also savage criminal aliens. Dirty people, filth, vermin. This is Nazi
does
bullshit.
He think Haiti is in Venezuela? I don't know what his train of thought is.
Like, the reason I even explain to him,
right? And here's where the stochastic terrorism part comes in, because this is what's being handed out to people in Springfield, and I'm showing this just for educational purposes because I don't like showing this trash on this show. This is a KKK newsletter that is being handed out, and this is not fake.
You know what the worst part is? That font
disgusting.
is specifically a font that was used in Nazi propaganda in World War II.
Yes, it was. Thank you for pointing that out. I was going to say that. It's a
I
very
didn't even
specific. Know. It's a very specific look that they're going for. Oh gosh, it makes me sick to my stomach. Truly sick to my stomach.
But this is what he wants.
These people,
right? Like, let's not forget. Even though he said, let's go march on the Capitol, he never uttered the words, let's go break in and shit on the walls. Okay, so that's his little shtick, how he pretends he didn't foment an
peacefully and patriotically. That's his MO. This is
when you rile up a base of people, specifically racists, people with aggrieved racial hatred, people that are xenophobic, that don't like anyone that doesn't look like them in the mirror, you know what you're doing. Okay, there's a reason that propaganda works, because it is targeted towards the stupidest and it inflames their bigotry. And when you now have KKK flyers being passed out to hate Haitian immigrants, a week ago, no one cared about Haitians. Now, because they have some bullshit fake story, Haitians are the great evil in this country. Okay,
well, this is
propaganda at its best. This is KGB propaganda. This is World War II propaganda. Yep. This is the Vladimir Putin, Adolf Hitler playbook. And
remember the last boogeyman that Trump used was Venezuelan gangs or something like that?
Where'd they go?
Well, come to find out, if you guys don't know this story, apparently a bunch of bikers were heading to whatever city this happened in. I can't remember at this point. There's so many to keep track of. Where Venezuelan gangs were going into taking over this entire apartment complex. And the Hells Angels were all going to ride down there and do whatever.
Because everyone loves them because they're such law-abiding stand-up people.
Right. Well, it's been like 2 weeks and the Hells Angels still haven't showed up. So I'm assuming they either got lost or they just never went. Well, it turns out these Venezuelan gangs that took over this apartment complex were actually hired by the slumlord manager of the hotels to harass and evict the tenants.
Wait a minute.
Yeah.
Saying it's another example of an employer illegally employing illegal aliens? That's weird.
Yeah. Especially gang members that you, oh, God.
But we don't even know how much of that is true in of itself. Like, we use the word gangs of people. There weren't like 10,000 people walking through an apartment complex. Like,
No.
they will inflate anything they can to put an image in their base's head that there are scary boogity brown men that can't speak English that are coming for your children. That is what they want you to believe. And that is what these people already believe. This is reinforcing their hatred, their fear, their ignorance to get a vote, which they're already going to get, by the way. So this isn't convincing anyone. The irony in this is he's going all in on racism, and it's not going to get any more votes than he already would have got if he didn't go all in on racism.
Right. He's
It's
not
just
gaining
reinforcing
a single
his
vote.
assholes.
If anything, every time he opens his stupid mouth, he loses votes. Which
He's
is
just
fine
stroking
with me.
his cult, just stroking it.
Right.
Stroking
He's
the
playing to
cult.
his base. That's all he does. That's all he cares about is his base because they're the ones that give him money. And that's all he cares about.
And they're the ones that will take up arms.
Yeah, exactly. So, all right. So speaking of being rich, let's move over to his San Francisco press conference in front of his gigantic resort.
Oh, you mean commercial for his resort? Because it wasn't a press conference. It was a commercial for his resort.
Right. Here, just to play off of what Mike just said, here's the beginning of the press conference where Donald Trump just brags about how awesome his golf course is and that it's right next to the Pacific Ocean.
This is Trump National Los Angeles, and it's been a tremendous success for a long time. I guess Lily would be 18 or 19 years, I think, right? And I built it, and I have a little bit of a motto, but we never have to advertise because it's always loaded up with golfers, very good golfers. It's
he has never said that in his life. That's not a motto.
It fronts on the Pacific Ocean, as you can see. It actually fronts, very few courses.
Really? I did not notice the giant ocean behind you.
Some others, but I always say I have the ocean. Pebble Beach has the bay. The ocean's better than the bay.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard.
And this course is one of the best courses anywhere in the world, and it's done really well, and we've had a lot of fun with it, so it's been great.
Who is he? He's an asshole, sir. I know that.
It's a major property. As you can imagine, we do also lots of weddings and lots of events. And
here's the commercial.
The ballroom right behind you. And people
good price.
Get
Open bar.
I love the Chiron at the bottom.
On a nightly basis, looking over the Pacific Ocean.
3 days to election.
So we have something that's very special. We're proud of it.
He's selling his golf course. What he really means to say is the ocean is bigger than the bay because it's all about size for Donnie. All of it.
I love how he's standing in front of the Pacific Ocean, but still decides to point out that the golf course is right next.
What if he didn't know it was behind him? Like, is he that insane that he doesn't even know where he is? The ocean
turn around and be like,
so good.
Shit. An ocean.
The ocean's so big. Oh, oceans.
All right. Get off topic. All right, going on to the next video. Here's some highlights. More highlights from that.
Oh, let's get back into the racism.
In Springfield, Ohio, 20,000 illegal Haitian migrants have descended upon a town of 58,000 people, destroying their way of life. They've destroyed the place. And people don't like to talk about it. But with this group, everything is dead. The automobile industry is dead. The water coming here is dead. And Gavin Newsom is going to sign those papers. And if he doesn't sign those papers, we won't give him money to put out all his fires. But what they've done, Gavin Newsom and Kamala, I'd almost say Kamala more so, she destroyed San Francisco and she destroyed the state. When you look at the kind of destruction that's taken place, it's all man-made or woman-made destruction, too. It's things that should have never happened, but we're not going to let that happen, because if you have what happened to this country as what they allowed to happen in California and San Francisco, one of the great cities of the world 15 years ago, and today it's not in a very good position.
I like how Donald Trump points out that he's going to let the state burn down.
So if a governor of a state elected by the people doesn't acquiesce to the orange dictator from hell, he's going to let California land and potentially people burn because he's a petty little tiny little dictator. Also, the water is bad. What the hell is he talking about?
Yeah, how do you the water is dead? What does that mean? The water is
I mean, water itself is an
how
inert
do you kill
chemical.
water?
And then he talks about how Kamala made San Francisco terrible, destroyed it. He keeps talking about how bad California is now and how much better it was 15 years ago when Kamala Harris was the Attorney General.
Yeah.
But he's too stupid to even know that. So it was better when she was in charge, but it's not better now that she's not in charge. Pick one, bud.
Right.
Which is it?
And it's worth pointing out that California, I think, has the 5th highest GDP.
They have like the 5th largest economy on the planet
in the world.
California was
not in the United States.
Yeah,
like California could probably survive as its own country. It's that the economy. Of
when the fault line breaks away, they're going to be fine. It's the rest of us that are screwed. We won't have our avocado toast. How are we going to survive?
All right. So just to finish off this episode, I want to play a video that is extremely damning to JD Vance and Donald Trump, because JD Vance just flat out, and man, look at Dana Bash's face when he says this. He admits they're lying. He knows the stories are made up, and they don't care. They don't care.
On the debate stage, and he didn't say anything about the policies that you're talking about. He just said Haitians are eating dogs and cats. Can you affirmatively say now that that is a rumor that has no basis with evidence?
Dana, the evidence is the first-hand account of my constituents who are telling me that this happened. And by the way, I've been trying to talk about the problems in Springfield for months, and the American media ignored it. There was a congressional hearing just last week of angel moms who lost children because Kamala Harris let criminal migrants into this country who then murdered their children. The American media totally ignored this stuff until Donald Trump and I started talking about cat memes. If I have to, create stories so that the American media actually pays attention to the suffering of the American people, then that's what I'm going to do, Dana, because you guys are completely letting Kamala Harris coast.
Yeah, so
if I have to create stories, if I have to create stories, and then you get to stop listening, because anything he says after that is bullshit.
Right.
So when the vice presidential candidate of the United States of America goes on a national news network and says, if I have to create stories to get you to believe my rhetoric, that should end the campaign of not just JD Vance, but Donald Trump and the Republican Party. Because you just admitted on national television that you're lying to get people to believe you to vote for you. Now, I said before, those stories, especially the original one, were made up. The person who originally passed that along made it up. They admit that they made it up. They made it up. He's telling you that they have nothing. They have nothing to convince you of who they are, of what they believe, and what they'll do for you. But they will do whatever it takes to lie to you to get your vote.
Yep,
they said it.
Scare you into submission is all they want.
That's not taking his words out of context. He literally just said it.
Yep. So you decide what you want to do with this information. We know they're full of shit. We know we're not going to sway any hardcore MAGAs that change their mind. And if you're still undecided at this point, you're just not freaking paying attention. Like,
you're just too afraid to admit you're racist. That's it.
Right. What other information do you need at this point? But yeah, so that's all we have for today's episode. I hope you guys enjoyed the content. If you did, please like and subscribe, leave a comment, set those reminders. We have a couple big episodes coming up. We have an interview with Fred Wellman of the Midas Touch Network coming up this Tuesday, the 17th. So other than that, enjoy the rest of your day. And like always, guys, we'll talk to you soon.